News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adahi Tanu program. Cars Plus reminds you to put your phone down while driving. Distractions won't get you there. Heads Up Guam. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Coming up on KUAM News Primetime, GDOE is looking into a pair of incidents that took place at elementary and high school. Plus, an Agana building remains empty despite the courts paying over $100,000 annually for rent. And 10 senators back a bill to increase the island's minimum wage over the next 2 years. Half a day, everybody, and good evening, especially if you're streaming us right now on Facebook Live. I'm Jason Salas, and these are tonight's top headlines. Well, your Guam Department of Education is investigating a pair of incidents that allegedly took place at a local elementary and high school, including an alleged sexual assault. It's our top story with our Chris Barnett.
According to Guam Department of Education spokesperson Isa Baza, we are aware of a sexual assault allegation made by a student against a Guam Community College teacher at a high school in May. The incident reported to the proper agencies, and the teacher was immediately removed from the school site. We are working with GCC to conclude our joint investigation. Now, GCC teachers teach career and technical education classes in GDOE public schools, according to GCC's website. Meanwhile, DOE is also investigating an alleged incident of child abuse committed by a teacher at a Jigo Elementary School. Baza is saying the incident was reported to the proper agencies and the employee was removed immediately from the school site pending the close of the investigation. The incidents come on the heels of a series of school safety partnership meetings held by GDOE and partner agencies. In a statement, Baza says ensuring the safety of students is a top priority for the Guam Department of Education, and all employees are required to undergo a series of clearances before they're allowed to work at DOE schools or divisions. All applicants undergo background checks and drug testing and must also provide police and court clearances. Baza adds, in the event there's an allegation against an employee, especially where children are involved, procedures are followed to immediately address safety concerns pending the completion of the investigation. GDOE will not release the names of the schools where the incidents took place to protect the privacy of the alleged victims. No other information was provided by the department. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
Chris, also tonight, the island's court system has spent $156,000 to rent an empty building belonging to the brother of a Supreme Court justice, and will spend millions more before the lease is up. Chris has our next report.
The Judiciary of Guam has paid $156,000 in rent for an empty building since April of 2017 as part of a 30-year lease on the property that used to be owned by the Catholic Church. That property, now owned by Supreme Court Justice Bob Torres' brother Chris Torres' company, MEC LLC. In April 2017, the courts entered into a 30-year lease with the Archdiocese of Agana. Then acting administrator of the courts, Hannah Gutierrez Arroyo, signed off on the lease, which sitting Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio helped negotiate. Tenorio, at the time, was the court's administrator.
Acquiring that property is a good deal for them operationally. Now, I'm not sure what happened the last couple of years.
According to land management documents, MEC LLC, owned by Chris Torres, bought the building from the church in July of 2018 for a cool $2 million in cash. MEC inherited the lucrative lease, which has escalating rent terms, meaning the rent gets more expensive every 5 years. The courts will pay $144,000 a year for the building until 2022. Now, during the last 5 years of the lease, from 2042 to 2047, the rent will be over $221,000 a year. KUAM News did the math. By the end of the lease, the taxpayers of Guam will have paid $5.2 million in rent, with just about all of that money going to the brother of a sitting Supreme Court justice. At the end of the lease, MEC will have more than doubled the $2 million they spent to buy the building. So we asked Judiciary spokesman Sean Gumatauta if it was a conflict of interest for the Judiciary to pay $5 million in rent to one of its judges' brothers.
For us, we were leasing the building from the Archdiocese of Agana. If they had made any purchases or any changes of the ownership, that was pretty much on them. The new owners are now honoring the lease that we entered into. So it was just a continuation of that.
Gumatautau says the plan is to eventually move the court's probation services division to the building while the old courthouse is being restored, but that hasn't happened even though the lease was signed more than 2 years ago. Gumatautau puts the blame on architects and the court's cash crunch.
I think that there was a large delay in when we first started this project with drawings. Basically the architectural drawings to get the place up to code and to be able to move the entire, or at least most of the division over. So the delays really in the drawings itself caused the big problems that we face in getting this project underway.
In the meantime, for now, the courts are basically paying $12,000 a month for some parking.
We've been working for just over a year or so now trying to get drawings done. We've had some hiccups in trying to get, making sure that place is secure. Obviously, we're now using it for parking.
Gumatautau said while the lease is for 30 years, it's very likely the court may buy the building outright from Justice Torres' brother.
It's in the footprint of the Judicial Center now, so it wouldn't be out of the out of the realm of possibilities that we could actually purchase that building.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
It is worth noting that the Archdiocese waived the building's rent for a year, citing considerations for the court's need to renovate the site, yet the court did not do any renovations during the first year of that lease. Well, let the public debate begin over another increase in the minimum wage. All 10 Democrat senators are sponsors of a bill to phase in a $1 hike over the next 2 years. Main sponsor Senator Joe San Agustin calls it a small step that could make a difference in the lives of many, but the local Chamber of Commerce says it will also have a negative impact on many small businesses. Nestor Lecanto explains in our next story.
The measure proposes a 50-cent increase to $8.75 by March of next year and another 50 cents to $9.25 by March 2021. Senator San Agustin says he chose to phase in the hike based on input from a human resource managers group. But he's also convinced that companies who are benefiting from a 14-point federal tax cut can afford to pay employees more.
So the business right now are in the greatest position right now. An increase in the minimum wage is actually the way to go. We got to start paying things forward.
But the business community points out that because of a resulting hit to government revenues, the legislature raised the business privilege tax from 4% to 5%. Chamber of Commerce Chairman Joe Arnett, in a previous interview, said the wage hike will also lead to higher consumer prices as businesses pass on the increased costs.
I can think of many small businesses off the top of my head that are really going to be seriously injured by this. I think the answer is not artificial increase of wages, but training of the workforce so that they can earn more in a skilled position.
For me, that's an excuse. Okay, why don't we send everybody that comes out of high school? We send them to all the schools. They go to University of Guam, go to GC. When they come out, what do they get? Do they in fact really get the higher wages, or do they start at the minimum wage? I want to keep business in business because of the economy. But I can't just sit back and allow the business to keep making money and not sharing it with everybody else.
A public hearing must still be held on the bill, but with 9 co-sponsors, San Agustin appears to have a veto-proof majority. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
In other news tonight, last Friday, autopsies were performed on the 2 latest fatal auto pedestrian victims. It was on the evening of May 4th when 40-year-old Donnie Red Garrido was hit while walking along Toto Cañada Road on his way to the store. He passed away the next day. 3 days after that, tragedy struck again when 4-year-old Jericho Zion David was hit by a car on Mangakort in Dedido. The medical examiner concluded that both Garrido and David died as a result of blunt force trauma and skull fractures. According to GPD, the investigation continues for both incidents. They are the 10th and 11th traffic-related fatalities of the year. Well, a similar autopsy was performed on a man killed while local court marshals executed a warrant in Dedido. Brandon Ojeda died as a result of a self-inflicted gunshot wound, as on May 8th, the Tautamona Fugitive Task Force descended upon his vehicle serving a high-risk warrant. A video showed law enforcement officers surrounding a SUV just before the shooting did occur. Also tonight, a man was arrested and charged in court after threatening to kill a woman with a gun. Jarek Onkanko, however, allegedly left that gun inside the woman's car. Court documents state he demanded the woman drive him to his uncle's house, and that's when he allegedly threatened to kill her and her family if she reported him. Onchanko apparently left the gun on the floorboard of the vehicle as he exited. The victim drove to the police station and officers located the weapon. The suspect later told police he didn't threaten the woman and also denied knowing why the gun's serial number was destroyed. At the time of arrest, Onchanko was on pretrial release for drug possession. He was charged with terrorizing, a special allegation of a felony committed while in felony release, and family violence. Also tonight, the hospital is asking for some $61 million for critical infrastructure upgrades. GMH officials made the pitch during a budget hearing at the legislature today, especially needing $11 million to repair a leaking roof and to replace an antiquated electrical panel that powers the entire facility. The funding request led Finance Chairman Senator Joe San Agustin, who you heard from previously, to ask whether it would make more sense to just start completely over.
He's trying to figure out a way how to get the federal government to help build a brand new hospital, start clean, all new equipment, find a way to fund it. But I'm just curious, have you guys looked at that? I mean, it's far-fetched, but you're asking $61 million.
Administrator Lillian Posada said, as a matter of fact, she raised the exact same topic with the command surgeon for the U.S. Pacific Command, Admiral Louis Tripoli.
Conference in Palau, and I have asked him if he can help us out with regards to getting the Army Corps of Engineering, at least get that started, to come and assess the facility and see how the structure is, and maybe they can make a determination and say, you know what, you need a new facility. You might as well just build a new facility.
Posada said the governor will also be discussing possible funding for a new hospital during her mainland trip. Please stay tuned. We're back after this.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
We value relationships because when we commit,
I love you guys until you're 80, until you're 90, until you're 100, forever.
we are in it for the long run, so you can enjoy the moments that matter. Because when we commit to relationships, we never stop caring. Calvo's Select Care, health care that is always there for you.
The most delicious union of all time is now on Guam. Kentucky Fried Chicken and Waffles for limited time at KFC.
There's a new United credit card that can take you here, here, and here. With double miles on gas and groceries. Introducing the new United credit card from First Hawaiian Bank. Gas, groceries, getaway. Apply at fhb.com/united.
Legends aren't born, they are made. And during our Jeep Celebration event at Cars Plus and Mighty, you'll receive up to $6,000 in accessories with the purchase of a new Jeep Wrangler, Motor Trend SUV of the Year. Customize your new Jeep to the way you want it. Or how about a new Jeep Grand Cherokee? Save up to $5,000. Or save up to $7,500 on a new Jeep Compass Sport. It's our Jeep Celebration event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Welcome back, everybody. A bill aimed at strengthening an existing law in order to stiffen penalties for pedophiles has been introduced. A release from Senator James Moylan's office stated, quote, rather than making the program an option or voluntary, we're making it a requirement for certain offenders. We're also mandating the offender pay for the treatment as part of their parole or probationary requirements. The freshman policymaker did introduce the bill to update and strengthen the Chemical Castration for Sex Offenders Act enacted in 2015. Now, because rules were not adopted, the act was never truly implemented or enforced. Moylan also says the objectives are not only to reduce recidivism among convicted sex offenders, but also to keep the community, most importantly victims, safe. Senator Therese Terlahi, his colleague, held a roundtable discussion earlier this month in which officials from the court said no doctor will perform the procedure due to conflicting studies on the effectiveness of treatment. More on this story later on this week. The Mayor's Council, in other news, held its mandatory pre-bid conference Monday for prospective games of chance operators at the upcoming Carnival. Executive Director Angel Sablan says there were interested parties for every category of gambling, from the House of Cards to the color game to the extremely popular Beto Beto. Sablan went over the new rules and regulations and responded to questions from potential bidders, saying they have until the end of the week to submit their proposals. The bids will be opened at the Mayor's Council office on Friday at sundown. The time is running short, though, as the Liberation Carnival opens at the first week of June and runs for 60 days. Elsewhere this afternoon, the first two participants graduated from the Guam Adult Reentry Court Program in the courtroom of presiding Judge Alberto Lamarena III. Led by the island judiciary, community partners comprised of government and community-based organizations developed a plan to ensure comprehensive, individualized service delivery as part of the initiative. Court Director of Policy Planning and Community Relations, Sean Gumatauto, says pre-release services include education, job skills training, and treatment for substance abuse. Post-release services include counseling services, educational and job training programs, and housing and public assistance to qualified participants. Well, your island's first female governor will be the speaker for the University of Guam's graduation commencement ceremony. UOG President Dr. Thomas Christ says, Governor Leon Guerrero's story truly speaks to UOG's tenets of parahulu and rising above, and we're excited to let her words be the first to inspire the class of 2019. Those words exactly from him. The commencement ceremony is set for the 26th at 2 p.m. at the UOG Carnival Fieldhouse. The ceremony will also be streamed on UOG's Facebook Live page. Well, over the weekend, close to 125 participants came out for the 3rd annual Mauricio Pier Project, and breaking down the numbers, that's 49 scuba divers, 10 certified free divers, 19 snorkelers, and 46 coastal cleanup workers. Nice job. The aim of the project is to clean the reef around the pier for the benefit of the community and marine ecosystem. Coordinator Leilani Sablan says 109 mesh bags were brought up from the pier, filled with debris totaling 742 pounds of trash, and that's not even including 40 tires that were collected. The event coincided with the Mother Earth Conservation Fair, featuring booths from the Department of Agriculture, the Micronesian Conservation Coalition, and the Serve Guam Commission, among others. Great job to all those who participated. All right, sports is coming up next, plus later on in the cast, your birthday shoutouts.
What's that? An Alpha Insurance customer needs a claim settled immediately? I'm on it. Agent Alpha.
In the event of an accident, theft, or breakdown, each of our Alpha Insure agents are trained to go above and beyond.
This is my stop. There she is. Target acquired.
Agent Alpha. Yes!
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
Visitors make memories on our island. They contribute millions of dollars every year to our community. So what does that mean? Tourism keeps our island's culture alive.
And it strengthens our identity as Chamorro.
Tourism creates opportunities for local businesses to thrive.
The dishes I create feature local ingredients.
These ingredients come from local farms and create local jobs for farmers like us.
For every job we see in tourism,
there are hundreds more we don't see.
From teachers
to babysitters
to engineers.
We all work in the tourism industry.
Our visitor industry benefits everyone. It improves our income and gives back to our community.
Meaning more opportunities for a better Guam.
Tourism works for Guam.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We get the show started tonight with some boys high school volleyball news. The Harvest Eagles will be meeting the Father Duenas Friars for this year's IIAG Boys Volleyball Championship title tomorrow night at the UOG Carnival Fieldhouse. Check it out. The defending IIAAG Boys High School Volleyball Champions, FD Friars, will get a chance to defend their title this season against the Harvest Eagles. FD beat Ukadu in 3 straight sets to advance. The Friars won on their home court last night, 25-11, 25-19, 25-20. The championship game is scheduled for tomorrow night at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse at 7 p.m. Doors open early for the consolation game between the Teason High Titans and Ukadu Bulldogs at 5:30. FD has been dominant all year, only losing 1 set this season. Coors Light All-Island Alumni Basketball League from the Jungle in Manilao. 3rd place game between the Sharks and Paradise Fitness Phoenix Suns. It was raining threes by both teams. Jazz Giratumarang hits for the Sharks. Brandon Duenas answers back the opposite way for the Suns. Corner 3 drops in for the bucket. Check out the ball movement by the Sharks. Jay Casemiro with the feed inside. Sharks win 79-66 for the 3rd place trophy. GW and the Elite Friars laced up in the championship game. Off the tip-off, Friars with possession first. Dom Sablon brings the ball up court and finds teammate and business associate Will Stinnett in the corner. Stinnett pulls up with no hesitation and drains the shot from long range. Sablon off on the mid-range jumper. Rebound stolen by Ethan Allegre. Allegre goes in for the layup off glass. Vince Estella with the assist to Sablon. Pump fake to create some space. Sablon with the corner J. GW's Valiant Borja splits the defense on his way to the rack. Borja gets up and under Romeo Sanchez and scores on the tough shot through the lane for 2 points. Romeo Sanchez putting in work. Back down, drop step off the backboard for deuce. Geckos close the deal and pick up the win 70-58. James Stake with a team-high 19 points in the win. Teammate Valiant Borja chipped in with 18. Borja with the rebound and putback on the jumper a few feet away. Congratulations to all 30 teams who competed in Uproar Terrible Twos, held at Custom Fitness in Anigua. Teams were broken down into a novice division, open division under 69, and plus 70 division. In CrossFit Talk, some of the workouts included kettlebells, seated rows, seating WOD, keg carry, a gauntlet which featured hand-over-hand skull, floating monkey, lateral facing skulls, ascending weighted sled pull, ascending weighted sled push. The Sandbaggers took the novice division. Open 70 went to Blood, Sweat, and Beers, and open under 69 went to Ebony and Ivory. Good luck to our Heineken men's national rugby team as they prepare for the Asia Rugby Championships. Division II rugby tournament in Thailand. Guam made a stop off in Manila and played a tune-up match, losing to the Philippine residence team at Southern Plains 22-18. Guam's first match of the championship will be against UAE on Wednesday, May 15th. The winners of the first round matches will face off on May 18th for the Division II championship and automatic promotion to Division I.
Pulses per minute. That's the rate of your heartbeat when you were born. And as you grow up, you'll get to meet your awesome crew from over 164,000 people on this island. Together, you'll explore some of Guam's 210 square mile land, where you'll get to enjoy hundreds of things to do, from climbing the highest mountain and more, to exploring the deepest trench and more. But that won't be enough for you, so you'll travel more than 1,000 miles to experience 1,000 more things, in more places where you'll meet more faces, until you meet that one person with whom you'll be doing 1,000,000 more things with, until you bring another heart that would beat 180 pulses per minute, and we'll be there, giving you more data for more of those experiences.
This would be awkward if you were sharing these nachos with anyone but yourself. Nachos are now a meal with your choice of double the seasoned beef or slow-cooked shredded chicken plus a medium drink. The Grande Nachos Box, only at Taco Bell.
Triple J says yes. Easy financing? Yes. Easy trade-in? Yes. Fast and friendly? Yes. Find the car of your dreams like our Mazda CX-3 at only $19,995 or the Honda HR-V at only $180 per paycheck. Get top market value on your trade-in, explore payment options that work for you, and get pre-approved instantly. We'll even go the extra mile to deliver your vehicle to your home or office. Triple J says yes. Just click, pick, drive, and purchase your next vehicle at triplejguam.com today. Triple J, customers first.
Special treat for you for tonight's birthday shout-outs. I'm going to make my voice a little bit raspier. Enjoy.
Vincent PD, Netty Dog, happy 49th birthday to our brother. May the good Lord bless you on your special day. Love always, the Netty Dog Familia. Sophia Cruz, happy 5th birthday, Netty Girl. Love Daddy, Shay, Nana, Papa, Ollie, Emily, Chevy, Landon, and the rest of the family. Hosea Gogui, happy birthday. God bless you. We all love you. Avengers Endgame. That's what we're doing tonight for your birthday. Happy birthday, Justice Marie Timinglo. Happy 15th birthday. We love you from Mom, Dad, and your sisters Janisha, Gina, and Jasara. And a happy belated birthday to Mervin Atalig Lingao Lingao. Happy belated 21st birthday to the King of Cebu, Philippines. Sending love from the Lingao Lingao family and close immediate friends and relatives on Guam and back home in the Philippines. Happy birthday, Mervin.
To be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club, all you have to do is go to KUAM.com, scroll about halfway down the page and register. And all you got to do to enjoy health, home, and lifestyle is just stay tuned and watch next.
Captioning is brought to you by IT&E. Explore your world. Health, home, and lifestyle. Presented by Paradise Fitness Center, changing lives since 1996.
Have a day, everybody. This is Health, Home, and Lifestyle. I'm Jason Salas. Our good friend Nurse Jen Artero is up first, and she has this week's installment of Health Check.
Health Check with Nurse Jen is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Half a day, I'm Nurse Jen, and you're watching Health Check. It's summertime, and that means it's time to lose weight to look hot and sexy at the beach or just be a healthier version of yourself. But where do you start? The first step is to know how many calories you should eat daily, and this number should be based on your age, weight, lifestyle, and height. And with all these fancy smancy websites, it's not hard anymore. Start with calculating your individualized basal metabolic rate, or BMR. Your BMR provides the number of calories your body uses for basic functions. The other factors that affect calorie needs include your level of activity and the thermic effect of food on your body. Obviously, eating fewer calories than your body needs to function will absolutely 100% lead to weight loss. It's simple. You gain weight, you get chunky monkey. If you eat or drink more kilojoules, more calories than your body needs for your metabolism, and ultimately eating excess calories will mostly get stored as fat. Most of the energy you expend each day is used to keep all the systems in your body functioning properly. It's important to note that only you can make your metabolism work for you in a positive way. BMR is the amount of energy the human body needs to maintain homeostasis. This means your BMR is largely determined by your total lean mass, muscle mass. Anything that reduces lean mass will reduce BMR. Maintaining lean muscle mass can help reduce the chances of injury when exercising, training, or sometimes just doing everyday routine activities. The average male individual has a BMR around 7,100 kilojoules per day, and the typical female's BMR is around 5,900 kilojoules per day. As a reference, just know that the rate of energy expenditure is usually lowest in the early morning hours. Again, your true BMR varies based on factors from your current height, weight, age, lifestyle, activity level, and the intensity in which you do your activities. To find out your BMR, go online to find the BMR calculator formula. It's simple. Just enter your numbers in, your height, your weight, and your age, and the BMR website calculator will instantly let you know your own personalized BMR number. This BMR number will help guide your daily caloric food and drink intake with relation to your amount of daily activities. Every food and drink item has a label on it detailing how many calories per 10 chips, per fluid ounces, per serving size. The average BMR for a man should be about 1,800 calories, and a woman is about 1,400 calories per day. Stay right there. Don't change the channel. We'll be right back with more Talk. I'm Jennifer Artero, registered nurse, reminding you, don't wreck yourself, health check yourself.
Health Check with Nurse Jen is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Please stay tuned, there's more coming up.
I am track winner.
I'm a baller.
I'm a golfer.
I'm swimmer.
Hey, neighbor.
We are parents of an athlete.
I am a coach.
We are volunteers.
Let me win. Can I win?
Let me be brave in the attempt.
Make a difference in an athlete's life. Be a part of Special Olympics Guam.
Keep our dreams alive.
Get involved today.
Smiling is a natural response to joy, happiness, and excitement. Your smile reveals a lot about who you are. A healthy, beautiful smile can brighten your appearance and be an invitation to conversation and friendship. It is often one of the first things people notice about you. Now, thanks to the advancements in dentistry, you can have the smile you have always wanted, giving you an improved smile that looks and feels great.
My silver fillings that I have, they're getting older in my mouth and I need to replace them. So I've started to do that and I've replaced them with the white fillings and I've had really great success with that. It looks good, they feel natural, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the bleaching. I want a white look all around my mouth.
And join us every last Monday of the month for the after party,
where we talk about news and views.
Arte.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm still Jason Salas, and thank you for watching KUAM News Extra on YouTube or on KUAM TVH. Joe Aquino is with the Lupus Awareness Group of Guam. He joins me now on the KUAM couch talking about a awareness event, Joe, of course.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us. We're very happy to have you. Yeah, and thank you for what your organization does for the lupus community on Guam, because, I mean, tragically, there are many, many people affected by lupus on Guam, probably many more so than most of us realize.
Yes, that is correct. As a matter of fact, there are people who moved off island for treatment, you know, because we don't have the resource or the specialists here in Guam to help them.
Hopefully we'll get to the point where we can have like local treatment and, you know, like local resources, but organizations like yours are certainly helping to bring a resource, you know, give a sense of community and let people know they're not alone.
Right.
Okay. How long have you guys been around?
We've been around since 2012.
Okay.
And so what we do is we try to bring out awareness and also try to bring the patients out, because the group, actually, when we get together, only they understand what they're going through. So, you know, the patients don't feel that they're alone in this, you know. So we encourage them to come and join the group, take part of the meetings that we have.
How often do you guys meet?
We try to put a meetings once a month.
Okay.
With the patients.
And how long do they normally go for? And like, are they like potluck, or is it like themed?
Well, it all depends on the. Yeah, there is a potluck, but
Very nice.
We try to accommodate their issues. Because only the patients know what they're going through.
Exactly.
So other patients will explain and express what they're going through and who the doctor they see, and it's worthwhile. It's worth it for them to come around and try to understand others and that they're not alone.
Okay, and in the 7 years that you guys have been in existence, how many members do you have now?
We have about 100 members, but I know there's more out there, and we highly encourage them to come and join us and join the group, so that way, as we gather more information, we can share those information pertaining to the lupus treatment and what research has come about, for lupus.
Okay, and you do have an event that's coming up and everything like that.
Yes,
Please
we
tell me
do.
all about that.
We have Put on Purple on Friday, May 17, in support of Lupus Month, and we also have a Lupus Forum on Saturday, and it's being held at the Humanity and Social Science building, Social Science Hall at UOG.
Okay.
And that's from 8 to 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Is there any cost if anybody would like to?
No, there's no cost, and we highly recommend that the patients come and listen to the doctors that are going to offer the lectures. And not only the patients, but also we highly recommend even the families, because they're the ones that's going to be there for the patient.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, is it also open to like caretakers, healthcare practitioners?
It's open to anyone who wants to come in. And
okay. Well, may I ask, for people that have never experienced what it's like to go through lupus, either directly or with like a family member, what are some of the most common questions that you and your organization get?
Is there a cure for lupus? Lupus, there's no cure, but through medication and all, it can be controlled. And so that's why it's important that they come and gain all those information from the group. And sometimes, one patient having certain medicine and the other patient having another medicine. So they share what they go through, and also the doctors who the specialists they see. So it's really worthwhile.
I know a lot of when we do stories here for our news department, and we do stories on lupus, and like a lot of the questions that tend to bubble up from that perspective are what causes lupus and what are the contributing conditions, and people say, is it because I used to smoke, because because I drank, because did I, what did I do?
It's hard to say, because where lupus comes from, and research, they're still working on that in research, and there's no proof. Some doctors think it's genetics, and there's no proof of genetics either. All I know, and what we've learned from the specialists when my daughter was diagnosed with lupus, was that lupus is an autoimmune disease, and it can happen to anybody. It's not in the diet. So they're still trying to figure out where it came from and how it came about.
Well, hopefully organizations like yours, will continue the very fine work that you guys do, and hopefully we'll bring that number of members down, because we won't need it, and hopefully find a cure for it.
Hopefully.
And we'll do all we can to help as well, Joe. So thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you more.
All right.
The only thing I like to say is, I ask the families, the patients, come out and listen to what these doctors have got to offer. We have a rheumatologist coming in to give a lecture. His name is Dr. Evan Vista. He's a rheumatologist from the Philippines. And they recently, a couple of years back, started a research on lupus also. So I'm sure that he will share the information about the latest medicine available for the patients.
Well, we look forward to hearing that because we're going to be there as well because we're going to cover it for you. So we'll see you there, Joe.
Great, thank you.
All right, thank you for your time.
Okay.
And thank you for your time. We'll be back right after this.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
This is a bag, but for Steve, this bag gives him food cred. Because now everyone knows that when they have that craving, or they're just looking for the perfect deal, well, they just need to follow Steve.
Follow him all the way to the new McTerry Deluxe at McDonald's. It's an all-beef patty smothered with teriyaki sauce topped with lettuce and tomato on a sesame seed bun. For a limited time, price and participation may vary.
There's a new United credit card that can take you here, here, and here, with double miles on gas and groceries. Introducing the new United credit card from First Hawaiian Bank. Gas, groceries, getaway. Apply at fhb.com/united.
The Good Life, all month long on the stations and networks of KUAM. Check the KUAM News app or KUAM.com for all program listings.
All right, half a day, everybody. I'm still Jason Salas. Thank you for watching KUAM News Extra. If you're streaming us on YouTube or Facebook or watching us on KUAM TV, I have two lovely ladies on the KUAM couch right now. We have Brianna and Sybil, and we are talking about speech pathology. Is it exactly, ladies, or services for people who would need hearing difficulties?
Hearing
resources.
And speech problems, yes.
Yeah, it's a very long title. So
yeah, speech language pathologist and or audiologist.
Yeah, I have many friends who are in that field, and I was like, better you than me, because the people in that field are very compassionate. They're very talented, and they're very learned and everything. So maybe just set us up with a little bit of the context about how big of a community on Guam there is to avail of those services.
Well, there are a lot of therapists available, mostly in the Guam Department of Education, to service the children who are in the public schools and private as well, to help them with their speech and language needs. There are less available outside of Guam DOE. Sybil is a part of that.
Both GMH and where I work, GRMC, we have speech pathologists to take care of swallowing. Lots of times if you have a stroke, it affects your swallow and you start making it, when you swallow, it goes into your airway instead of your stomach. So we try to rule that out and make sure everybody is swallowing right. If they're not, we give them therapy to restore their swallow. And then we also offer speech and language services, sometimes to children and sometimes to adults who've had strokes also that affect their speech or language skills.
That is something that a very good friend of mine, my friend Rich Tamunda, shout out to Rich out there. I don't know if you guys have ever worked with Richard, but yeah, but he is a speech pathologist, my teammate from like way back in the volleyball days. But he said that as a pathologist, he went to school, to help people with like hearing loss, speech impediment. But he said there are a lot of people who, like you said, Sybil, people that have suffered from strokes or things like that. There are systems in the body that have to recover and everything. So that must be a tremendous amount of work here on Guam, because stroke is a very big problem for us.
Yes, and it is a big problem for adults. Yes.
Okay.
And our profession ranges all the way from birth to death, and every age and disorder in between. So we cover a lot of area with our profession.
Certainly, so. And I know many people in that profession, and they don't have a lot of free time. Yeah, there's a lot of work to go around. So how many people exist in that community of healthcare providers and professionals?
In Guam or worldwide?
Or just specifically for Guam?
We have about, around 20, later 20s or 30.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a very small, distinct, and elite.
That includes speech-language pathologists, fully licensed, and also speech-language pathology assistants that are licensed, but they need a supervisor to conduct.
Okay, so maybe to get the word out about what you do and perhaps recruit even more people, as I understand it, you have a outreach event that's coming up.
Yes, so Sybil and I are both members of the Marianas Alliance of Speech and Hearing Professionals. We're just a group of speech pathologists and audiologists that come together. We collaborate to kind of grow as professionals, and we are reaching out to the community on May 25th at the GPO. From 10 to 2. We're just there to give information regarding early detection of speech and hearing. Actually, it's across the lifespan. So we will have information starting at children who are young, early intervention services, and how to detect an early sign of speech and hearing impairment, or speech and language impairment, excuse me, and all the way down from to adolescent to the adult population where Sybil works.
I'm sure maybe is part of your scope of work, I would assume, also is not just things that you're born with, and maybe hearing difficulty, that you had literally since birth, but maybe also like due to injury or kids are always wearing big Beats headphones these days and everything like that. Do you get a lot of that work as well for accrued?
People have blasted their hearing out from too loud sounds.
Yeah, and I grew up in the 80s, so I know all about that.
But
I've been to a few concerts.
Definitely TBI, traumatic brain injury, motor vehicle accidents, that can also cause problems. Progressive neurological diseases, the litigo-bodig, and things like that, dementia.
Okay. If people, for young people watching this right now, I mean, they may be in medical fields or, what types of backgrounds typically attract or draw people to, your line of work? Because I'm sure it runs the gamut. Psychology, perhaps.
Yes.
That's an interesting question. Do you mean who do we work with?
Yeah, or like what types of people, like if they have a certain background, are they still able to get into your line of work, or do they have to specifically be, they have to go the medical school route?
No, it's not medical school. You get your bachelor's and then you get your master's in speech. And then you have to take a test with the American Speech and Hearing Association and pass that, and then you have to also work 9 months under somebody who's already certified by ASHA before you can be fully certified by ASHA.
Okay.
And as speech pathologists, we do work with those other professionals that you were saying. We do work closely with them as well. So. Yeah,
your job skills, and I'm sure your LinkedIn profiles must be like a mile long. Certainly, it's a very multidisciplinary profession to have.
Yes.
So what has it taught you working in this field?
Patience, and that communication. The biggest part of this field that I've learned is that there are so many ways to communicate. Everyone just thinks, verbal is the only way you can communicate. But if you look at our children who are nonverbal, who have autism and can't really speak the way you and I are speaking right now, there's so many alternatives to speaking there. The iPads that speak for you, these picture symbols that you can give, and that's also what our event is also going to try to showcase are some alternative means of communication that the community may not be aware of that can really help some loved ones who are struggling. Okay, well, ladies, we do have to go to commercial break, but we thank you for your insight. We thank you what you do for our community, and we'll see you there at the event because we're going to make sure to cover it for you because we want to help get the word out. Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. All right, and thank you for watching, but don't go anywhere because we're right back after this, so please stay tuned.